Any other question by any other member? If there's none, no other question, the Honorable Johnny Pimentel. Sir.
Mr. Chair, this is already the fifth hearing that we have conducted. And six? Okay. So, 6 na hong hearing ang ginawa natin dito. We have already heard all sides pertaining to this subject matter. We have discussed thoroughly all the pertinent provisions of Republic Act 11422. We exhausted already all arguments that needed to be discussed. And Mr. Chair, of the 6 hearings that we have conducted, this committee, I believe, was able to establish violations of Suarasug to their franchise. And may I repeat what has been stated by the author, Representative Gutierrez. First and foremost, we have seen or we have established that they were in violation of Section 4, responsibility to the public, which we have already thoroughly discussed, which I will not discuss anymore. Section 10, the sale, lease, transfer, grant of use of tract or assignment of franchise. We were able to establish that there was a change of ownership from Kingdom of Jesus Christ. In 2020, they reported in their GIS that KOGC owned 95% of Suarasug. However, in 2022, as per their GIS, the shares of KOGC was diluted to 46% and it was transferred to Phoebus Global Holdings, I believe. So clearly there was a transfer of ownership, and under Section 10, they should report this to Congress and or rather ask permission from Congress, and once the transfer is consummated, they should report it to Congress within 60 days, which they did not do. Now, under Section 11, we have also established that they were also in violation of this pertinent provision, dispersal of ownership. It is very clear that in the life of their franchise, they should offer to Filipino citizens at least 30% of its outstanding stock. However, for the past 29 years on which they have been operating, not a single stock has been offered to Filipino citizens. And lastly, Section 12, which is the reportorial requirement. So, Mr. Chair, klarong-klaro ho, although of course, the legal counsels of Suarasug will oppose our findings. They have their own interpretation also of the law. But I believe that this committee has found sufficient grounds to revoke their franchise. On this note, Mr. Chair, this representation would like to move for the approval of House Bill number 9710, an act revoking the legislative franchise granted to Suarasug Media Corporation. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion. Approval of House Bill 9710. Any second?
Second the motion, Mr.
Duly
Chair.
seconded by the Honorable Pancho. Any objections? The chair in objections. House Bill number 9710 is approved as with no amendments. May I suspend the hearing to direct the committee secretary to prepare the committee report. Session suspended. take your seats. You might want to go. The committee report. Siya lang mag- Okay, session resumes.
Mr.
Honorable
Chair,
Pimentel.
I have in my possession the draft committee report on House Bill 9710. So again, on this note, Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the committee report. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion duly seconded. The chair in objection. Committee report is. There's a second. Second by the Honorable Pancho. Second by the Honorable Ferrer and the Honorable Aquino.
Ano? Manuel.
The Honorable Manuel. The chair in objections. Committee report is adopted.
Mr. Chair.
I think the Honorable Tontine has something to say.
Hopefully, Mr. Chair, sana before you will make any voting, Mr. Chair, I'd like to request a time or chance to explain our side, Mr. Chair. And before you consider your voting, I'd like to request all the members to just read our position paper, Mr. Chair, and consider our position paper because in pursuant to the due process clause, Mr. Chair, give us chance to explain and consider also our position paper before making any voting, Mr. Chair.
Well, thank you, the Honorable Tortino. The vote has already been,
I know, Mr. Chair, that's why it's
the vote
useless
has
for
already
me.
been casted.
That's why
And
it's
there's
just,
an approval, and we take note of your request, but I just like to inform you because of you submitted your position paper 30 minutes before this hearing.
that's why, Mr.
We
Chair.
had no time to distribute all of that to all the members. So after this hearing, we will be giving all members a copy of
But it will
the
become,
position paper that you wrote, which is basically a summary of everything that you said in the previous hearings as you manifested earlier.
Mr. Chair,
Kaya po nagsabing lahat yun nasabi nyo na eh.
our position
Opo.
paper will become useless if you have no, you admit, Mr. Chair, that you have no more time to study and make a voting. That's why I'm asking, before you vote, Mr. Chair,
But
at
earlier,
least 1 week, Mr. Chair, to give all the members a chance to read our position paper, Mr. Chair.
Attorney, I think,
Mr. Chair,
no, Attorney, wait.
if I may,
Yes.
30 minutes before this hearing started. I mean, let's be also fair because there's no way for us to be able to distribute and for all members to study that. First of all, your position paper was just basically things that you already said in the past. So we've taken note of that. The
Our-
COPSEC,
Our request, Mr. Chair, is based on the due process clause of the Philippine Constitution, and we believe the franchise of SMNI is still protected by the due process clause of the Philippine
definitely,
Constitution.
that's why that hearing, 6 hearings. We said 5. You corrected us earlier. You said it was 6 hearings, not only 5 hearings. Thank you for the correction. And I think that is already very clear as far as our wanting to give this process to observe due process in this particular hearing. Palagay ko naman po, November pa ho natin pinag-uusapan, Marso na po na yun, ang dami na po natin pagkakataon, i-submit po lahat yan. And it is sad to note that you submitted this document to us 30 minutes before this hearing,
Mr. Chair,
which we find truly unfair.
We submit
Thank you.
to the sound discretion of this honorable committee, but we still stand with our position, Mr. Chair.
Your stand is requested. Your stand is noted, and we request that the COMSEC be directed to submit and distribute all those documents which was submitted 30 minutes today, 30 minutes before this hearing. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, a very short
yeah, Mr.
manifestation.
Chair. Yeah, Mr.
The
Chair,
Honorable Janet Karin.
yeah. Mr. Chair, for the information of Attorney Mark Tolentino, I believe with the permission of the chair and the august body, the position report, the position paper can actually be submitted to all members of Congress. Anyway, after the committee report, this will still be tackled in the plenary. And for that reason, Mr. Chair, I believe there is still ample time for all members of Congress to review the position paper as submitted by the legal counsel of SMNI. And so with that, Mr. Chair, I believe it will be fair for everybody to pursue the line of discussion that the Honorable Chairman was earlier stating.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Garin. So again, I direct the committee secretary to please submit and furnish all members of this committee and of course our House Secretariat a copy of their position paper for distribution to all members. Maybe a hard copy and a soft copy should be given to them. Thank you. The Honorable Attorney Tomasio.
Mr. Chair, thank you again for this opportunity.
Yes, Attorney.
Mr. Chair, very briefly, while recognizing the powers of this committee to hold a person in contempt, may I make a final appeal, Mr. Chair, to defer the implementation of the contempt order until after I have advised my client. That is a very humble request from this representation. Just a few days, and maybe we can submit something to clarify our position. And then if it's still the pleasure of the body to continue with it, then we will abide by it, Your Honor. Just a deferment, not a revocation of the order of contempt, Your Honor. Just a few days, if this committee can find it in its hearts, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman.
The Honorable Paduano.
And what we expect in that 3 or 5 days? What do we expect? Because
I will, as I intimated to this honorable body, because I cannot lie to it, I'm under oath. I will be seeing my client tomorrow, and I will try to advise him with respect to the order, Your Honor. I will give it my best good faith effort, and I say this not only under my oath before this committee, but under my oath as a lawyer and as a member of the Philippine Bar. Thank you, Your Honor.
so the day after tomorrow, we will expect you and Pastor Kibuloy to be present in
I
Congress.
will advise him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that will be if you ask me about the consideration, that will be the requirements for us to defer.
Well, of course, I cannot, with respect to that, I cannot speak for the good pastor, but Your Honor, I will be seeing him and I will be advising him accordingly, Your Honors.
Attorney Tomasio, let's
Yes.
make this clear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we will 5 days. So
Yes, Your Honor.
5 days from now, if we do not hear from you, then we can now implement.
Yes, Your Honor. Whether whatever the result is, out of courtesy to the chairman,
Yes.
I will seek an audience with the honorable chairman to report to him, Your
Okay.
Honor, as
So,
a matter of courtesy.
So there's no, yes, thank you very much. Anyway, so there's no withdrawal, no deferment. All we're asking is the implementation. So kung pwede, we wait for 5 days, we hear from you. I think that's the request, ha? I think let's be clear as kung ano
Yes,
po
yes, Your
request
Honor.
nyo.
Be clear to this
Okay.
representation,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, it will be implemented on March 18, that is Monday.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the March 18 will be the final.
Mr.
We have
Chair.
to hear before March 18. The Honorable Pimentel.
This is only a food for thought for all of us. Although it's hypothetical, however, Attorney Topacio might be asking for a furlough, for a 5-day furlough, but we know very well that Pastor Kibuloy at this point in time is already a flight risk. So baka naman ang humihingi ni Pastor Kibuloy to give time so that Attorney Topacio, humihingi ng palugit para makaalis na si Pastor Kibuloy out of the country. Hindi po
naman po,
ba
Honorable
there are
Pimentel.
already rumors? So it would be a dangerous precedent on our part. Yun lang, Mr. Chair. I think dapat pag-isipan natin
Attorney.
to our colleagues, if you give 5 days, he can easily, we know that Pastor Kibuloy has a fleet of planes. Anytime pwede siyang umalis. Unless, of course, that we issue or we request a whole departure order from immigration, considering that we have already issued a contempt order and there is already a request for search warrant, or rather an arrest warrant from the Sergeant of Arms, and then there is a pending again subpoena or contempt from Senate. So dalawang chamber ito,
Your Honor,
hindi
meron
po
ako-
natin maalis yung Atty. Topacio that at this point in time si Pastor Cobuloy nag-iisip na rin niya na tatakas. Hindi na nga nagpapikita. Even sa social media, he issues statement incognito. So, yun lang po ang dapat pag-isipan po natin, Mr. Chair.
Po hearing natin.
Ah.
Pwede po ba after your hearing tomorrow, can we hear from you?
Nasa Davao po ako. I'll be back on Thursday, Your Honor.
Yeah, but
Mr. Chair,
I can call Your Honor.
you can call us, when? On Thursday.
Yes, Your Honor.
So today's Tuesday.
Yes, Your
You meet with him Wednesday. Thursday, you can.
Mr. Chair, but
At the
Atty.
latest Friday, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Yes, Atty. Topacio said earlier that he will be meeting with Pastor Kibuloy tomorrow. So why will we give him 5 days? Siguro pinagaman until tomorrow.
Okay, we'll give you up to Thursday.
Your
Fair
Honor,
enough.
with respect to the apprehension that you will be pleading, there's already a lookout bulletin, Your Honor, issued, directed from the DOJ to the immigration.
Okay.
So,
That's why,
and
and maybe we can also say that if he wanted to really leave, he would have left
yes,
already.
actually, Your Honor, I was about to say that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, could you give me at least until Friday?
Okay, we will give you the deadline, with the permission of the movement and those that have seconded. Do you have any objections to giving him up to Friday? If there are none, then therefore your request is granted that the implementation will commence after Friday, on Friday.
I will personally call on the Honorable Chairman to report.
Yes, and if you wish to write the committee a letter you may feel free to do so.
I thank you, Your
And
Honor.
if you can do it earlier than Friday, it will be much appreciated.
Yes, not later than Friday. It would
Yes.
be earlier, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you very much.
We
Okay.
appreciate the gesture of the committee, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Okay, so that is clear that the contempt charges stay, but we will give them 3 days after his one-on-one meeting with Pastor Kibuloy in Davao.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Your
very
Honor.
much.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn, duly seconded. The chair in objection. This session is adjourned.